Title: This Cop Admitted to Racial Profiling. His reason will shock you. What if the very people sworn to protect us admitted they were targeting us instead? Meet Officer Daniel Reeves, a veteran cop with 15 years on the force. One day, in a shocking and rare confession, he admitted to something many have suspected for years: racial profiling. But it was his reason that left everyone speechless. This is the disturbing truth behind his confession and the system that allowed it to happen. Officer Daniel Reeves wasn't a rookie. He had spent over a decade patrolling the streets of his mid-sized American city. To his colleagues, he was just another dedicated cop. To the public, he was just another badge. But behind closed doors, Reeves held a secret that even he struggled to admit. One day, sitting across from an investigative journalist, Reeves finally spoke the truth. "Yes," he said. "I've racially profiled people. I was trained to." The room went silent. The journalist's eyes widened. The cameras kept rolling. This wasn't just a confession. It was an exposure of a system-wide practice. When asked why, Reeves' response was chilling. "Because it works." He leaned forward, his voice steady but serious. "It's not about racism, not for me. It's about statistics." According to Reeves, he was trained to go where the numbers are. In other words, he was taught that certain races, certain neighborhoods, and certain types of people were more likely to commit crimes. It wasn't just him. It was what he was told to do. And what's worse, he believed it. Reeves explained that from the very first days in the academy, officers were taught an unspoken rule: be suspicious of high-crime areas. Certain people commit certain crimes. Profiling isn't about race. It's about effective policing. But as years passed, he began to see the cracks in that logic. He started noticing a pattern. He and his fellow officers were constantly stopping Black and Latino men for minor infractions that white men got away with. Traffic stops, random searches, harassment disguised as routine checks. One day, Reeves pulled over a Black teenager named Marcus for matching the description of a robbery suspect. But Marcus was just walking home from work. When Marcus asked why he was being stopped, Reeves couldn't give him a real answer. That moment haunted him. Then came the night that changed everything for Reeves. It was a routine stop. A young Black father pulled over for a broken taillight. He had his hands on the wheel. His voice was calm. He did everything right. But something about the encounter felt off. Reeves' partner, a more aggressive officer, reached for his gun. The young father panicked and reached for his phone. And just like that, shots were fired. The man survived, but barely. He had been reaching for his phone to record the stop, not a weapon. Reeves couldn't sleep that night. The weight of it crushed him. Had he been a part of something broken? That's when Reeves made the most dangerous decision of his life. He decided to speak out. He sat down with a journalist and told everything. The racial profiling. The targeting of Black and Latino drivers. The pressure from superiors to make numbers look good, even if it meant arresting innocent people. And that's when everything turned against him. The moment the interview aired, Reeves became a target. His fellow officers saw him as a traitor. He was placed on leave indefinitely. His locker was emptied out overnight. He received anonymous threats from unknown numbers. The department denied everything. They called him a liar, a disgruntled officer looking for attention. But the public, they saw the truth. Protests erupted. People began demanding an investigation. Reeves lost everything: his job, his colleagues, his reputation. But he gained clarity. He realized that racial profiling wasn't just about statistics or effective policing. It was about control, about power, about injustice. Now Reeves spends his time speaking out against the very system he once upheld. He teaches young officers about unconscious bias. He helps victims of racial profiling fight back. And though he still looks over his shoulder, he says one thing keeps him going: the truth. So what does this mean for us? It means we have to ask the hard questions. How many others are out there, following orders instead of their conscience? How many innocent people have been stopped, arrested, or worse, because of a system built on bias? How do we stop it? Reeves took a risk. But if we don't demand change, his confession will be just another story. Drop a stop sign in the comments if you think racial profiling must end. Or subscribe, because the truth needs to be heard.